On today's On My Shelf, I'll be discussing Enola Holmes, a movie that was produced and released by Netflix. It's kind of a tamer, more family friendly version of Fleabag, which is a show that breaks the fourth wall, mixed with the sleuthing skills of Sherlock Holmes. Enola Holmes is a movie about the younger sister of Sherlock Holmes and Mycroft Holmes. And if you're familiar with the Sherlock Holmes folklore, of course, he's this famous detective. And in the beginning of the story, her mother goes missing. She's the only person Enola has because her brothers are, somewhere far away. And she is kind of faced with the decision of, should I try to find my mom or should I let it be up to my older brothers who are much more capable? She lives in a time period before women were allowed to vote or any of that kind of thing. And so she's kind of dealing with some of that societal looking down on women. The story is all about her kind of breaking free of those constrictions, especially in the person of Mycroft Holmes, who wants to send her to a boarding school so she can actually learn how to be a lady. The story is all about her coming to be her own person. I really loved this story because you don't hear anything about a little sister. I don't even know if in the Sherlock Holmes stories there was ever a little sister mentioned. I remember there being a Mycroft. But it was really interesting the way that they took this character and the time period in which she lived and kind of made it a little bit of a girl power movie. And I always have a soft spot for those because I love when girls can see themselves doing powerful things in spite of what society says they have to do and the box that society puts them in. But one of the things I really, really loved about the movie as well is it had sections where she broke the fourth wall. And that's one of those things that I don't know what it is that I love about it so much in movies and TV shows and stuff, but it feels like it provides some kind of relationship with the audience. And she would look at the camera and you could see either sarcasm or despair, or it was usually probably sarcasm. So it was like you were sharing this inside joke with the audience. And I really love that because it makes you feel like you're part of it and that maybe you know something that these other characters in the story don't know. I love seeing those kinds of things in movies. From a story perspective, I feel like the screenplay and the story of Enola Holmes was really solid. You saw all of the kind of check marks that you're supposed to see in stories. There was a helper character in the form of a young lord who kind of helped Enola even break more free of the things that society places on her. And she, in turn, was helping him break free from the constrictions that he had in his wealthy and conservative family. Part of what the story did is it showed Enola becoming free of these boxes that society had put around her. And other people in the story who also grew and became free from the boxes society put around them as well. To me, it just spoke about the truth that when you set women free, you set other people free as well. And it showed the potential that there is for a young woman coming into herself, realizing that she stands alone, that she doesn't need a man to define who she is, and the ripple effects that has in a society whenever it becomes interpreted by young women and by people who understand those boxes that society has put around them. It can be a very hopeful and inspirational thing. And I really appreciated that about the film. I know I keep going back to this breaking the fourth wall, but there's a way that it's done well and a way that it's done kind of cheesily, I guess. And in this movie, it was just done really, really well. And I've been trying so hard. It's a very difficult literary device to get right. In some of my stories, I've been trying to figure out how to do this. And it was wonderful watching a movie that did it well and seeing some of the expressions, feeling some of the emotions that you could share with the characters, and taking notes on when can I use this in a story and how can I make it more effective when my character is sharing something that's inside with the reader. It's really got me thinking about trying it out in a few stories and just experimenting a little bit. And It's always helpful for writers to watch things and read things that challenge them a little bit in their craft. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I hope that I do someday. That's it for today's On My Shelf. If you want an author's perspective on books, movies, TV shows, and sometimes even music, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.